So you're starting a Pokemon collection in 2025, and it's more exciting now than ever before, though let's be real, it's pretty overwhelming, right? You've got alt arts to hyper rares and understanding the difference between illustration rares and special illustration rares. I mean, it can get messy, so that's why I think of this video as a bit of a wayfinder. Now, Pokemon cards are a worldwide phenomenon, and we can even see Pokemon cards are more searched now than ever before in history. So within this video, I am walking you through how to begin collecting Pokemon cards within 2025. Now you may be thinking, don't I just buy packs and collect whatever I feel? And I mean, you can do that, right? Though one area that a lot of experienced collectors will tell you is that collecting Pokemon cards is very expensive. So I suppose this video works as a little bit of a guide to ensure you don't overspend on huge amounts of money while learning the aspects of the hobby. Everyone has a different way they like to collect Pokemon cards, right? For example, I like purchasing my Pokemon cards and products that have the potential to rise in value over time, as I have a huge passion for investing, so I kind of mix the two worlds together. While others love just collecting for the pure enjoyment, or some people love buying their cards to play in the competitive TCG scene. Though, no matter where you are in this journey, this video will be helpful to you. By the end of this video, you should feel confident with understanding Pokemon cards and products, and hopefully it removes the confusion of what products to buy, and also hopefully helps you in what to avoid. Now, if you're new to the channel, firstly, I'd just love to say hi and welcome to the world of Pokemon collectibles. My name is Phil, and I've been collecting Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh since the early 2000s. Now, Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh were both a huge part of my childhood, and literally when I was a kid, I used to say if I was a millionaire when I was older, I'd use all that money to buy Pokemon cards, and it's probably fair to say that not much has changed. So if you want to stay up to date with Pokemon cards, I'd love for you to join the channel. Feel free to subscribe. It's always nice to see new faces on board. Now, it should be said that Pokemon cards do also have the potential to rise in value, though not every card will just rise in value. There's a few criteria that need to be met, and I'm going to explore a little bit how that works throughout this video as well. Though before we get into the Pokemon cards and the products, let's start with the most important aspect of collecting, which is storage and protection. Because if you don't protect your cards properly, they will get damaged, and even the tiniest bend on your card will crush the value. And I'm not talking about a 5% decrease in value. A damaged card can decrease the price by more than 50% and even up to 90% in some circumstances. So this is the first thing you want to learn and master. Properly protecting your cards is essential. Now, to do this, you will want penny sleeves and top loaders. Penny sleeves are what you store your card in right after you pull it from a pack, and a top loader is what you place your card in after it has a penny sleeve. Always put the penny sleeve on first. Now, from here, you can actually add your cards to a binder. Though I've been collecting for a long time, and in my experience, cards left in binders can get damaged over the long term, especially if you're constantly flicking through them and showing your collection to people. So you can see here, I actually have a binder here, and the reason why I don't mind them, okay, but as time goes on, you can probably see with this binder, right, how as I'm opening that right now, you can see it's very easy for these to get bent just here because there's no protection on the sides. Maybe if you're opening your binder, you'll be very careful with it. But you know, if you're showing it off to some friends or, you know, some people around, they might just flick through these pages really quickly. Now, these are all reverse holo cards. They're not that valuable, right? But someone might just, you know, quickly flip over them like that, or they might throw the pages like that, right? If you've got super expensive cards in here, they can get easily damaged on the sides with these binders because they're not really designed to be thrown around or even flipped that often. Okay, I actually highly recommend a top loader binder. If you can see here, so if you can just look at this golden electrode right here, so you can see when I take that out of the pack, that actually has a top loader protecting it, right? And you can see that they just slide back in super easily. So you can see even as I'm flicking through these pages, you can see how sturdy that is of a product. It really feels bulky, and it doesn't feel like you can just easily damage your cards. Okay, so now with all the basic storage and protection out of the way, however, let's talk about the products, right? There are a lot of Pokemon products out there, though for the sake of simplicity, I'm gonna be walking you through the most simple and best products to start your journey, and these three are the Elite Trainer Box, the Booster Box, and the Booster Bundle. Now, this is from a pure collecting perspective, okay? There are different different products if you want to actually play the competitive trading card game, though for this video, it is for collecting purposes. Though before I get into the basics for these products, if you're new to collecting and would love to connect with a like-minded community, I actually really recommend joining my channel's Discord server. You'll actually be able to ask questions from a range of experienced collectors because I know the hobby can be pretty overwhelming, so it's great to have support of an amazing community. You can also showcase your pack pulls and even show off your collection. The server invite to the Discord is in the description of this video. However, let's start with the Elite Trainer Box. Elite Trainer Boxes, or otherwise ETBs, are easily the best product you can buy to start your collecting journey. The reason why is that they contain everything you need to start collecting. Depending on the ETB you buy, you'll receive 9 to 10 booster packs inside, you'll get some card sleeves, and you'll get some extra goodies inside the box. And of course, you actually receive a booklet as well, and this booklet shows you every single card inside the set. So for example, right now I'm holding a Stellar Crown ETB, and right here within the ETB contains a booklet of every single Stellar Crown card inside the set. So if you were going to buy your first Pokemon product ever, I really recommend starting with an ETB. Are they the best value for money? No, but they are literally built perfectly for a starter. The booklet helps you get into the world of Pokemon collecting to check off a master set. You get some awesome sleeves inside, and if you're buying in the Scarlet and Violet era, the ETBs also contain a special promo card inside. This will get you started perfectly on your collecting journey, and also in terms of Pokemon standards, they are pretty affordable. Now, while ETBs are a great starter product, I would recommend them for your first purchase, though they are not the best value for money as you continue collecting. And this brings me to the second product, which is the booster box. Booster boxes are only released for mainline Pokemon sets, so Pokemon sets are split between specialty sets and mainline sets. Now, nearly all sets will have an Elite Trainer box, though only mainline sets get booster boxes. Now here we can see this is a booster box. They do come with 36 packs inside, and they are great value for money in terms of buying and opening up a lot of products. Though again, the price point to buy one of these is quite expensive, so that's something to consider, right? They're not the cheapest entry point. But the great thing is you actually do get to experience a set when you buy a booster box. Why I love booster boxes is because I truly feel when I rip open a booster box or even 2 booster boxes, I really do get a good feeling of the set, right? They are getting a little bit harder to find in 2025 with newer sets. Surging Sparks, it was quite difficult to get the booster box. And don't forget as well, with booster boxes, huge amount of people who love collecting sealed product with these. So you can kind of feel like you go back in time when you collect them, because it's very likely if Pokemon continues maintaining their booster box design, even in 5-10 years time, they may still keep this design because they've done so for such a long time, okay? And there is a massive, massive market for people who collect sealed product as well. Now, finally, let's talk about the booster bundle. Booster bundles contain 6 booster packs inside, and what's so unique about them is that booster bundles are usually available for both mainline sets and specialty sets. So you can see this is Paldean Fates, which is a specialty set. Now, what's really unique about booster bundles, even though they are considered like your mini booster box, right? Which is unique because a lot of those sets don't get booster boxes. Well, they don't really, it's only mainline sets. So they are really awesome. They're really fun to rip open, though one thing about them is sometimes when you open a booster bundle, it does leave a lot to be desired, right? So that's why the booster box kind of makes you feel like you've really experienced the set, right? With these, sometimes you feel like, oh, I could have done more. Oh, I could have opened a few more of these, right? Though they are really, really great if you just want to open a few packs, great value for money. Though you got to also be careful because sometimes for the specialty sets, the booster bundles, man, they can get scalped as well, right? So even with Pokemon 151, when it got released, the Elite Trainer box was much easier to buy than the booster bundle because the booster bundle was technically the cheapest pack per cost ratio. So many people were scalping the booster bundles and they became a very desired product. Those things you will learn over time when you're dabbling in the hobby. You will see what products to buy. Sometimes the Elite Trainer box will be the better purchase for a specialty set over the booster bundle, depending on how much demand there is for the set. Everyone's budget's different, right? So if you do have a bit more of an entry point and you just want to open a few packs, if you can get these at retail price, they are a really, really great product. Now, personally, I actually think these 3 products are the best entry point for collecting. Now, Now, since collecting in 2025 has changed, I probably should talk about Pokemon Center exclusive products, as these have become very popular recently. So a few countries have official Pokemon Center stores, and there's a variety of Pokemon products and merchandise you can buy here. However, this store is the official place to buy Pokemon Center products. So the Pokemon Center store sells exclusive Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. These Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs contain a few extra packs inside. Sometimes they'll have different card sleeves, and the promo cards inside the set have a special Pokemon Center stamp on the card. These stamps are quite heavily desired within the community, and they do sell for a huge premium and are very collectible. So these are pretty much your A+ version of the Elite Trainer box. Though something to understand about Pokemon Center ETBs is that they do sell out very quickly, and there's a lot of people who try to scalp these products, as the promo cards can fetch huge prices. So, a bit of advice if you're starting out, try your best to pre-order these when they get released on the store. Now, because Pokemon Center products are heavily prone to scalpers, I probably should touch on some of the few areas of the not so fun aspect of Pokemon cards and collecting. Now, there are a lot of scalpers and flippers within the hobby, and seeing as 2025 is looking like it will be the most popular year for Pokemon collecting in history, this area also may continue to grow. Scalpers and flippers love to buy products and sell them immediately on the market for a higher price. Now, my only word of advice here would be try to avoid paying overs on any products that just released. I mean, if you pay premium on an older set, that makes sense. Though I think a good piece of advice is wait for the next set, or better yet, try to get good at pre-ordering your sets, as that way you can secure the product and will get normal pricing for your set. I'd really recommend not paying overs on scalper prices, particularly for newer products. If you do end up paying more for products that are like a year or 2 years old, that's okay because you've missed out. Though for newer sets, I really recommend not overpaying. And I mean, it's okay to miss out on a set and just wait for the next big set, because they always come again in waves. Also, when you're buying Pokemon cards, make sure to buy from reputable places and sellers. There's unfortunately a few areas of scamming where people can reseal packs, so the best way to avoid any of these problems is just to buy from trusted stores and sellers. If you're opening a lot of Pokemon packs, there's a good chance that you may pull one of the expensive chase cards, such as a Pikachu Special Illustration Rare, the Umbreon SIR, or Greninja Special Illustration Rare, and you may want to consider grading it. Now, grading your cards is an excellent way to add value and protect your cards, and I highly recommend it. Though grading cards can be quite complicated, though you'll want to stick with reputable companies for this, and these include CGC, BGS, and PSA. And if you'd love to learn how to submit your cards to PSA for grading, you can watch that in full detail right here. Within this video, I go over how to submit Pokemon cards to PSA for grading. If you're thinking about grading your cards, I recommend watching that video to learn how to do it. I'll see you there.